Most people think that vulnerability is weakness. The truth is, it's the most magnetic thing that you can bring into dating. If you've ever struggled to speak your truth, to show your real self, or if you've been afraid to let yourself fully be seen, this episode is for you. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll have 3 ways to practice vulnerability in your current relationship or the next one waiting for you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Brennan, and for the past 15 years, I've been a student of self-development. I share content to help people heal, grow, and live a life with real purpose. My mission is simple. It's to help you live a 10 out of 10 life. Now let's break this down and let's get vulnerable. First, let's break down the myth. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's not being needy, and it's not oversharing. Some people even call it trauma dumping, and honestly, I don't care for that term. Vulnerability is simply showing your real self without the mask. It's being authentic, and it's being who you actually are. And whether you realize it or not, vulnerability is deeply attractive. It shows trust, it shows courage, and best of all, it shows emotional intelligence. See, these are traits that people crave in a partner. And here's the beautiful part. When you make space for vulnerability, it often allows your partner to follow your lead. You get to be the change that you want to see in your relationship, and I love that. So what does vulnerability actually look like? Let's use a first date example. You're into this person, but you're not sure if they're feeling it or maybe if they're just nervous. Instead of acting cool, you say, hey, I'm nervous right now, but I'm really enjoying myself. How do you feel? In that perfect scenario, they'll laugh and admit they're nervous too. Maybe they'll say something like, hey, I'm glad you said that. I haven't been on a date in a while. I'm nervous as hell, but I think you're really cute. And even if they don't, who cares? The point here is that you were bold and you spoke your truth, and that's where I want us to live. So another example of vulnerability that continues to break down walls is, let's say that you're in a long-term relationship and you and your partner are arguing because one of you felt dismissed in conversation earlier in the day. Now it's gotten to a point where things are heated, voices are raised, and both of you guys are defending yourself. Instead of matching energy, you take a breath and you say, hey, I don't want to keep fighting. I love you. I don't want to prove I'm right. I want to understand you. I never want you to feel like your feelings don't matter. The truth is, when you get upset, I get scared that I'm not enough for you and I defend myself. I dislike that about my personality because it makes things worse instead of better. I care about you more than my ego, and I just want us to feel safe. Can we start over? That's big vulnerability. You lead with love and a desire to understand, not win. You expose your deeper fear and take accountability for your reaction, and you invite your partner to feel safe and wipe the slate clean. Now, I want to restate, vulnerability is not the same thing as trauma dumping. You can state what you need and what you want without wrapping it in a flood of emotions. And yes, sometimes your feelings will come out strong, but that's okay. The goal isn't to unload a whole suitcase of drama. Vulnerability means revealing a part of you just enough to show truth and build trust. Here are 3 simple ways to practice vulnerability. Number 1, share one real feeling on your next date, whether it's your first date or 15th. It could be about you, about your day, about them, about your life. Just something that makes you lean in. Not something basic like I have a dog named Clifford. That's cute, but it's not vulnerability. Number 2, ask open questions that invite depth. Things like, hey, what's something that shaped who you are? Or what's your proudest moment? When you ask better questions, you create space for someone else to be vulnerable too. And if they're a good conversationalist, they'll toss it back your way, which allows you to share with them something that shows depth, so ask accordingly. Number 3, notice when you hide. Pay attention to those moments where you cover up with jokes or you keep it surface level. When you catch it, pivot, lean in and ask a deeper question. Share a truer part of yourself. Think a couple steps ahead. What could I say or ask here that will actually help us connect? So, in closing, vulnerability isn't just sexy. It's the cornerstone of trust. And honestly, without trust, there is no relationship. If you want real connection, stop leading with perfection and start leading with vulnerability, because that's where love actually begins. So guys, all in there, if something hit, share it with someone else who needs to learn to be more vulnerable. If everybody who watches this video or listens to this podcast shares it with one person, we can help double the spread of this mission and help bring vulnerability back into our relationships and back into dating. And remember, life is so much better when we stop pretending and we start talking. Catch you next time.